Yeah. What's good, people? It's your boy DJ GX, and right now you're watching Real Talk right here on Nubian Nice TV in association with Sierra Leone Media. Quick question: have you ever wondered how your favorite DJs, artists, and actors got to be where they are today? Well, me too. So for the next few weeks and months, me and my team are going to be traveling around the country, talking to some of the industry movers and shakers. Hopefully me, you, and anyone that's watching this right now can learn something from them. Now, for the very first episode, we felt it was only right to talk to the person that was doing the most in the community right now, Mr. Salone Music himself, DJ Litu, aka the Moses of Salone Music. Dude is mad funny and he had a lot to say, so check it out. Big man Litu.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, sir?
There, sir.
Good to see you.
Yes, sir.
What's going on? What's DJ Litu doing right now?
DJ Litu right now is busy. As you said, I'm really busy but I'm enjoying being busy. I'm enjoying being busy. I'm busy with music. I'm busy with saving the community. I'm busy in developing talent. I'm busy with becoming the face of King's College Hospital.
Okay.
I'm busy with possibly not so busy with family, which is not a good thing, but I'm busy in that circle as well.
You said something about the community, saving the community. I want to come back to that because I see you doing a lot of work in the community at the moment. I want to come back to that. But I know there's like a lot of people in the community that probably don't know where you started. And it'd be cool to like talk about, go back a little bit. The beginning. How did you start? How did you say, well, what happened? You woke up and said, oh, I'm going to be a DJ.
Do you know what? Honestly, Greg, I'm happy you asked that question because lately, a lot of people, especially within the last 5 years, 6 years going back.
Hold on, you're more than 5 years old?
Yeah, I'm just a little bit more than
cool.
just getting into I should be getting into my 7th birthday.
Your 7th birthday,
yeah,
cool.
So I should let you know that. But a lot of people there tend to be seeing Little and the face out there on various things, but they don't know where it all started. That's why I'm glad you asked that question. And for me, if I can say it started way back in 1995.
Okay.
Obviously, came to this country in 94, 95. My uncle, my mom's first cousin, was one of the household DJs.
All right.
What's the name? DJ Soul. That's the name.
Okay.
And what we call them, Soul Sound at the time. And he was pretty much known for doing hall parties, not the club DJ.
Not the club DJ,
understand, but very well renowned in London, very strongly recommended within the Sierra Leonean community. Going into parties within that first 12 months of coming into UK with my mom, and I used to go close to him, stand there, or wanting to be there. Every time we go to parties DJing, I want to be there. And like he saw the interest, and so like he usually asks me, he said, "You want to play music?" I'm like, "Yeah." You study music? I'm like, "I think so, yeah." So I said, "Okay, fine." So they had conversation behind my back with my mom.
Okay.
So my mom says, "Oh well." One day my mom said, "Your uncle say if you know they do anything, Saturdays then why don't you go to his house and then you go DJ together?" You know, like some people like when the penny dropped. So I was waiting for somebody to say that.
Yeah, right.
And then literally I was going there. But going there means you go there from like midday.
Right.
Before you even, so you go and then you do the basics. So long story short, I did apprenticeship with him.
Okay.
For I was with him for like a good 4 years.
Okay.
Plus. And when I say as an apprentice, at least 3 of those 4 years, I did more than 4 years with him, but 3 of those 4 years, I did not DJ
You didn't touch music, yeah.
Okay? I touched the CDs. I carried the records. And even at the time, cassette was phasing out.
Okay.
So I carried the cassette cases. Okay? But I did not play music.
So you've done your 3-4 years with your uncle, so what happens?
We just thought, you know what, I hooked up with one of my best friend, Tosin, at the time. We were both in 6th form. And then I saw, you know what, let's start doing, we started doing DJing, you know what I mean, for parties, friends' parties, and we were literally, you know, it was that kind of thing. But when you're doing that, and then you get 1 or 2 other uncles that come to these house parties, they see you, and then they get to the next hall, and then you sit down there, and then you're sitting down at the back, allowing your uncle to play. You have your own ideas in your head, thinking, okay, how can I do this? Or I can do this a little bit better than that. And you're thinking, so that's my uncle. Let this bobo let play. Leave him. Let her let play, man. Like, it's a big play. My uncle like, hang on, but I've never given you. I've never let him play.
You don't play yet. You don't play yet.
You don't play music? I'm like, yes. We do that. Like what's like, so obviously the next thing straight away is like, is there another uncle teaching you? Like, no, me and my friends in college were just doing nothing. Oh, okay. But you guys don't play we kind of music, you know, they play on that kind of music, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but okay, fine. So that would go on board, and then I think eventually I got to the stage where my uncle started stacking. And I don't know whether you know about it those days, you know what I mean? Stacking is, they do the selection of CDs. And you say, okay, play this, and exactly how you play.
Right.
I'm going to go use the restroom, so to speak, you understand? Like, literally, it's not leaving, but probably leaving just to give you that confidence. But he expect you to play the music, and then he watch the crowd reaction. And then he'll come back like half an hour later and said, oh, you did good. And then if you see the crowd start fading, where they struggle, and then he'll come up and all of that stuff. And I think that's how the confidence grew in him, and then giving me feedback there and then. But within that apprenticeship, what I learned is about the discipline, the business side, how to connect the cables, how to do, you understand, how to put the music together, how to know what works for which parties, as I was saying. And that, for me, I think is what's missing nowadays. But again, it's something that we'll probably talk about a bit later. So
fast forward 50 years.
I like that.
So now, DJ Litu is like on everything. You're everywhere right now.
I thank God, if I have to be honest, yeah. Two
things. First, how do you do it? And two, what are you trying to do? What are your objectives?
Before I even go to how do I do it, if you ask me my objectives, I don't really have a certain objective. And I think probably that may be one of the reasons why I've not got to the goal where I wanted to get to. But I know I want to do something.
Right.
But there is not a certain objective. So how do I do it? I do it because I'm supported by somebody that make the biggest sacrifice. And that's not me.
Right.
That's the family which I've got, because they're the one that lose out most. My wife and my children, they're the ones, because I've got the leeway to do what I am doing because I have a family that understands that this is what he does, because I care, because I'm passionate. So I've got that authority, that freedom from them. Even though I get the stick sometimes from the missus, which is natural. But if I didn't have that at all, I wouldn't do it. How do I do it in terms of engaging? I engage because I wanted to do it because I care, I'm compassionate. I believe in brand Sierra Leone, and I want to be involved if I believe that I'm going to make a difference. So that's how I try to do it. And then I try to get involved because I feel this is my interest, especially in the music or in the community work which I do.
As far as the community is concerned, let's start with the industry, the music industry or the entertainment industry. Right now, today, where the entertainment industry is compared to where, say, it was like 15, 20 years ago, what differences do you see? Have we moved forward, in your opinion? Where are we compared to, say, 20 years ago?
Well, if I could go 20 years ago with Sierra Leone music, when I was at that time still apprenticeship, doing everything, and Sierra Leonean music then, what we know was very, very strong locally, and you have those who had the international recognition. But one thing I knew about Sierra Leonean music then was that we had artists who could identify that you believe that you can take them and talk about them to another foreign country, and then they are easily recognized and known.
No, someone would know them.
Somebody would know them. So, for example, I would take, say, Bonnie Mac, because it's easier for me to draw him on an example. So I can meet a Nigerian or Ghanaian or West Indian. I said, do you know Bonnie Mac?
And they would say, yeah, I know
Bonnie Mac. You then start fast tracking as he is. So again, you have like the King Mascos. I should say the Ghanaian community embraced him, the Caribbean community, based on their flavor. But what they sold was brand Sierra Leone. So you can tell that they're Sierra Leonean musicians. They do Sierra Leonean music, but they were easily accepted by other nationalities, other countries, because they never lost their identity. So, and then we fast forward, and our music started going and changing, not going, changing. As it changes, we have local artists, who are becoming bigger nationally in Sierra Leone, but not having the international recognition. So you could walk into the northern side of Sierra Leone, they know that artist. You could walk in the east or the west or the south, they know the artist. But you then cross over, you meet a Ghanaian person, or you walk into a Nigerian barbershop and you say, do you know this artist?
Right.
No. Okay, do you know this music? No. And you're thinking, okay, but my country now, the music are popular.
Yeah.
Whilst the King Masco was not so popular.
How can the biggest song in my country for 6 months and you haven't heard it? I don't understand.
How come you haven't heard it? And then, so, as a DJ, then you're growing and you're getting stronger in the community. You're struggling to compete your music to other countries. So, for example, as I said to you, my friend Tosin, we went to school, we do things a lot together. And then when you go out there and then you play music, even then, forget about Afrobeat now. You're talking African music
at the time back then.
You can't even feed one Sierra Leonean good African music into an African set, which would stay strong.
Right.
Not except you have to go back to your Bonnie Mac again. So you still have to rely on your Bonnie Mac. You still have to rely on your King Mascos to save you. That, oh, I've played the Sierra Leonean music. And the crowd responded. So I can't really answer the question what's changed, whether it's the elements of the music, whether it's the way the music was delivered, whether it's our message, whether it's the identity. These are the kind of things. So it's not one single thing I can pinpoint it to say. So it's like what I'm saying, it could be the identity of the music was not Sierra Leonean enough to sell across. The music is not well written enough to sell. The music is not well produced enough to sell. So there are factors, and that's the reason. And as at the time has gone by, it's kind of fade away. You know, when somebody start pushing you away, eventually they'll push you, but for you to get close to that person is more difficult, especially if you were once close. Right. So, and we've been distanced within the music, and as the Afrobeat has changed or is changing, we're sort of kind of lost.
All right.
But we're seeing slow progress.
I don't know if you, obviously, if you agree with me or not. In my opinion, say if we go back, say like 10 years ago, when we had the jungle leaders, when they were on top of their games, the Mazua, Vexi, but when those people were doing To Taste and all of that song, I thought at that time, the music that was coming from Sierra Leone was on par with what everything else that was around.
It's what I call
music.
The revival of Sierra Leone music.
Right, the revival period.
Yeah, the revival period. Yeah. So that period was a time when the industry was going to be revived, which was going to, because you could then call on, again, maybe your Daddy Sarge. Right, yeah. Because you know that Daddy Sarge had that international acclamation by that delivering that corruption. Right. So there was an interest based. And then the birth of the jungle leaders, the Bow Wow Society, the Pooper Badgers, the, what do you call his name, the young boy, K-Man, you understand? The succulence of this world. You know, as we all know, if you can recall very well, that Tumba was one of the very first Sierra Leonean music in the rebirth of Sierra Leonean music that crossed over. You know, I mean, I can remember the first time outside of Sierra Leone parties that I had it was is what we call now Mystique, which was then Club Angel, which we call KFC. KFC. You understand? It was played in there, and it was absolutely well received.
Yeah, I used to play that song in 805 all the time. That's what I'm asking you. You're like the person. You're in there right now. So what do you think? What's happened? Because, you know, then we had that. We had that. Sierra Leone music is doing that. Nigerian music is doing that. I think at the time, the Ghanaians were just ahead. Yes. At the time. Their music was just ahead at the time. And now you have a situation from there to there. Today, the Nigerian music went that way. Ghanaian music has gone that way. Yeah. And Sierra Leone music is like, what, you know, we get like once.
Okay, let's put it on, I like to say, for example, with what I do now, it's easy for me to put it in a chart. Okay. So if we put in a chart, I won't put in a bar chart. Let's put in a pie chart. So as you said, you got in the Afrobeat industry, and I'd like to see Sierra Leonean people saying Sierra Leone is part of the Afrobeat industry.
Yeah, so we are Afrobeat.
So in the Afrobeat, then you have a different genre. So you have the Nigerian music, which would be at the top of the pie chart, and then waving consistently. You know what I mean? You see that it's fluctuating, but it's always on high, hitting the 95% target. And then you got the Ghanaians, which are just sitting about the 78 to 85% target. Okay, you have other country music. Then you come to Sierra Leonean music, so we're sitting just below 25% target. And then at time to time, you get something that will come up to 35, possible 40% target. But I don't think, and I'm probably, when people are watching this, they're going to probably hammer, say, waiting little they talk about, but I have to be as real as I can. So time and time, we get to the 40%, not 50%, we get to the 40% target within the Afrobeat industry, and that will be a single track. Not
it's
two or
usually
three to
like
compute. A single track will take you to that 38 to 40%, and then we go back and then we constantly stay where we are, which is 22 to 25%.
Right.
And we need more people at least to hit that 40%.
Okay.
Let's get at least 3 or 4 strong artists to get to that 40% barrier, and then we start thinking about breaking even, which is the 50%. And that's not what is there. Again, but I bring it back down to what's, when you talk about the jungle leaders, these guys, the Daddy Saj, they left the industry when Sierra Leonean industry needed them, the music industry needed them.
Oh, okay.
So they became experts, i.e. they left to either because somebody picked them up and said, okay, come perform for me show. For various reasons, many of them did not return, which is personal for or non-personal to them. You understand? So that vacuum became created. Okay. And the people that were looking at them and saying, oh, this is a great artist, the younger ones that they were inspiring had nothing to learn from because they were not even,
it makes sense.
There was not even enough knowledge to learn.
That makes sense.
So how can you live? Because if jungle leaders is still struggling or developing, but they've just spike, as I said to you, that 140%, and then they left, then we're left with...
So is that what you were saying, that you started the opportunity to learn from someone, to be just there, just absorbing what they know already? So you think that's a problem? We didn't have that for a while. When
my uncle left the industry, Greg, he knew I was ready.
Right.
He quite clearly said to me, you are going to be better than me and you're going to do better things.
Right.
Because he knew that I had learned enough and I'd gained personal skills enough to make sure that if he walks away, I remember one of the key things that he said to me, which I didn't follow through because it was more of a personal reason. He said, I want to let you take over all of the schools. Because he was getting those bookings, the school bookings. Like you do all those school dinner dance, now you get for the do now. Because at that time he was competing with 2 other DJs. Okay. And you got DJ Supermed, and then you have Junior Salone. Okay. These were the guys that were playing for school dinner and dance. Okay. And then when he left here, because he had his own market, he wanted me to deal with it, but I could not deal with it. Okay. You understand? Because as much as I was ready to DJ for parties, I don't think I was polished enough to handle that market. At the time. At the time.
What do you think about like collaboration in the industry? What do you think?
With Sierra Leonean musicians collaborating with international artists or locally so much, as well?
I mean, in general, be it locally, be it with international artists. Yeah. In your opinion, the level of collaboration in the industry at the moment, what do you rate it? Where do you put it?
For some reason, it's not worked.
Okay.
Again, this is a cliche, but I'll go back to what I know, and people will be saying, well, you can even go deeper than that. I can go deeper as far as the Super Combo, the Sierra Freaks, go deep, but I don't want to do that. Right. I want to say, let's take, for example, when King Masco was at his prime,
right.
Bonnie Mac, he was a seasoned artist. You have the Champs and the Abdul TJs. How many of these people worked with each other and produced songs which they actually worked with each other for the community to enjoy, because they know that they were. Yeah. They didn't. They did it when career was already finished. Right. When Emerson was trending, you understand, and you have the famous of this world, they're really trending. You have people like us calling them and advising them. You have the Succulents. You as a DJ, you know what was going to work, because but I never saw it. You understand? So that has not worked. And because they've not done it, and then I looked at, for example, when Sugar Lulu and then DJ Lulu was trending, you have the likes of M2. They were doing very well. That never worked. You wanted them to go into the studio and do music which Sierra Leonean people would want. That never worked. So what am I saying that? I'm saying if we were not able to deliver that for the music of yesteryears and the artists of yesteryears, to get them to work together and deliver when they are in their prime, not when they... not season.
Yeah, no one is talking about you.
When you're banging hits, you understand, that's when you collaborate.
Right.
Because it works. Okay? And then you fast track to now, the artist nowadays wants to do the other way. They want to do the international collaboration. Now, if you can't even work with your own brother or your own sister locally when you're trending, what makes you think somebody that's already an established artist internationally would actually support you, help you, and make your track become big when they know that when they walk into that studio, even if you give 70, 90%, if they give 30%, it's better than your 90%. And that's a fact. Why would they want to do that?
You said something about being frustrated with advising artists. What does that do to you? When you sit down with artists, you're being honest, I'm giving you all these tools I have, and then
that's something that's like, it's up my street. It burns me. Because when they come out and then you see there is a potential there, and then you have the opportunity to talk to them, and then the first thing you say to them, you give them your candid advice.
Right.
That you're thinking, first of all, I'm not looking at you as an artist, I'm looking at you as a friend.
Yeah, for your friend.
You understand? A brother or my sister. I want to give you the best advice based on my experience, which I've got, to make you work. And then you say to them, okay, one thing I want you to do for me. The first thing, simple, if it's to do with what they've done or what the song which they've done, the hit, you might want to give them an advice. Say, the first thing, as you know, 90% or possibly higher, now it's changed. Within the last 3 years, it's changed.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't say now I'm talking after 3 years. Within the last 3 years, it's changed. 90% of your biggest track, your hit, don't have a video. Go make video for that track day. So by the time they get around to making the video, the track is already old.
The buzz is gone, yeah, the buzz is gone.
There's no buzz, there's no feeling. You understand? So you're making the track. Why did you do the track, first of all? You understand? Is it to do with funding? And then we move away from that. You say, okay, the second thing is, you have a massive potential. Do you know about music of yesteryears? Why don't you go and take a Sabano 75 classic? You understand? And then work on it. This is a song that would suit your style. I've heard your tone, I've heard your voice.
I know what you sound like.
Take music of yesteryears, and then you draw example to 1 or 2 other Afrobeat artists or African artists that have done that which has worked for them and has helped their career. Many a times they will laugh at me. When I say they laugh at me, not laughing at me, but they'll just laugh at the idea.
You know.
Because they're thinking, no, I don't make one biggie. 12 will take Sabano 75, they eat already. Because they miss the point. And then you find out then they stay on that level of that 25% to 30%. Because, and I think we're not connecting. And that's what, because I don't think, and again, this is purely my opinion, I don't know how much of our Sierra Leonean artists that has got less 15 years knowledge that know anything 30 years ago about Sierra Leonean music. Sincerely.
Okay. What do you think of the talent that's out right now?
There is a lot of talent. Okay. There is a lot of talent. The talent pool, Greg, what I would say to you, there is a lot of raw talent. Right. But these raw talent needs to be amassed together. So bring them together, and then you need a network. Right. You understand? Then you now therefore do what they call, you sieve them through. Right. You therefore look at those who you think can cut it. Right. Those who can cut it, put them through the shifter. Right. You sieve them through. Those who you think can cut it, you say eyes to the right, nose to the left. But it doesn't mean that you're not going to work with the nose, but you just want to focus on the right. Yeah. Okay. And then you put them through, and then you put them through a chain of network where the discipline comes. So you work with them from production, from writing skills, from singing, taking local things simple as, again, vocal lessons. Simple things like that, you work with them. So you nourish that talent. So from grassroots. But because there is a wider pool, everybody think they can make music nowadays, we are lost.
Now, we can talk industry all day, and I think there's so much holes in it, like we can literally talk industry all day. Let's touch on your community work at the moment. You did the Knife Crimes song a few years ago. How did that come about?
With the community work which I do, it's, you know, like your passion is growing. As you're getting younger, you're having
I'll try. I was going to leave that there, but okay, go on.
You're having a new interest. So as I'm getting younger,
as your kids are starting to have kids,
yes,
so
my kids are starting to have kids, but I still feel as if I'm young. I'm having a growing interest. So the community work is something I am absolutely enjoying, and I'm loving it. And I am passionate about it, and I feel that I can make a significant difference, not only to Sierra Leonean kids, but especially kids within, because I always talk about something when I even do, when I talk on my own local program, and I always say, I want to make a difference in the community which I live in, because this is what I know. That's what I know the Sierra Leone UK community, and I know the UK community locally for Afro-Caribbean children. So I enjoy that, and I believe I can make a difference. So that has grown in slowly because back in 2012, 2013, yes, I was signed up to the Community Ambassador Program by the Metropolitan Police. And I was recommended by a Sierra Leonean brother, Abes Kamara, who's in politics.
Okay.
He said, look, I think this would suit you. I'll put a word in for it and for you and all of that stuff. And then I was contacted. And then, so basically it's about going into community ambassador meeting with the Metropolitan Police on a monthly basis. And then we discuss everything, how people can make a change within their community, so to speak. And then you also you need to identify one or two people, like young people that you think can go into policing. Basically, it was like the police wanted to use black and ethnic minority to recruit younger people who might think there is a barrier of getting into the police. So the scheme was to identify people to get them into the cadets, first of all. But sadly, the borough which we live in, Southwark, did not have a ward. So they like stations. So my station was Lewisham Station because Southwark did not sign up to the program. I remember one of the key things which I did first of all was coffee with the copper. So basically you get younger people, they have coffee with the superintendent or a few police officers. I enjoy that, you understand? So we organized that sort of thing. And and I thought, okay, I could make a significant difference here. And the interest, and then based on DJing, and then seeing a lot of younger people doing parties, seeing a lot of younger people, what they like in you, they're thinking, okay, we'll all get the same height, they can relate to you, that kind of thing. So it's kind of easier that way, you know, because kids, like, they magnetize to DJ Litu because
everyone, because your name is DJ Litu, you actually
so, like they'll come to you and then they go, uncle, uncle. So like hands over your shoulder, they size up to you, and then you feel in there you can drop one or two lines. And then comes the dark side. You see things started changing within the community, our youths getting into crime, you know, the rates of violence is getting higher, and you're thinking, but hang on a minute, some of these kids, they like you, they trust you, and you've commanded respect from their parents. Why don't you start using your voice and start talking?
Reach out to them.
You understand? Start talking to them. So by supporting a few of the either victims to crime or some of the people that you can talk to and pep talk, then you make those difference. So I thought, how can I make a significant difference, especially with the increase in knife crime last year? I know, obviously, this year has surpassed it by far. And last year, we lost so many Sierra Leonean, up to four to six Sierra Leonean children who passed away. I thought, I can't get Emerson. I can't get Famous. I can't get Innocent or, you know what I mean, all the big name Sierra Leonean artists to come from Sierra Leone. I just don't have the money. Why don't I use, again, what I know, the local resource? I thought, okay, fine, knock, knock, knock. Who am I going to call on first of all? Let me call on the people that I know best, my big brothers. So first and foremost, I needed to secure somewhere that's going to be prepared to record me. You understand? So I called Silverstone, who's a respected brother and a friend. You understand? So I called on Silverstone and I proposed my idea, and then he loved it.
I mean,
straight away.
It was just a brilliant idea.
So and I thought, okay, fine, let me reach out to people that look, we've worked together, we've come back from the days back in 2002 when we started doing things together in SL4U. Let me reach out to my big brothers. So I reached out to the likes of Femi, T-Boy. I said, this is my idea and this is what I want to do. But I want to get Sierra Leonean artists based in the UK to work on an anti-knife crime song. Again, it was easy sell for me.
Obviously.
Because like I can bark on their door and bully them, so to speak, to get to do things for me, and then they'll do it, because whether it's a wrong idea or whether they think it's not going to work, they'll still support me. So the next thing to do was to put the artists together. And I never personalize it. I have to be honest with you. I threw it on the forum because I've got a wide broadcast of Sierra Leonean artists. I say, who wants to be part of the program?
Who wants to be on it?
And, you know, those who believed in it came. So I don't cry down those who did not come, but those who believed in it, as I said, came. We worked on the project, and it was one of the most, for me, rewarding thing which I've done. Has it made a difference? Probably not. But did that help me feel fulfilled? As in, I said, I've taken one step. Yes, because many of the people that were involved in the project and the people that were outside the project that have seen it or witnessed it, you understand, they loved it, and it sort of like earned me a bit of respect within the community. So we loved what you did. So But I said, I can do more. I want to do more. Let's start talking to the kids. Let's start working with. So for me, that's how we came by anyway.
Now, if we just stay on the knife crime situation for like a little bit. Now, from your experience and being who you are and what you've done, what resources are there that you know of that people that are worried about maybe their cousins, brothers or sisters, what resources are there for them? Is there something they can reach out to, or someone they can talk to, or a number they can call and say, you know, well, I'm concerned about that person. I think that person is trying to go out with knives.
You know, there is always something, Greg. Honestly, there is always something. I think, personally speaking, we have a community, again, in the Sierra Leonean community that does not share.
Okay. You
understand? There's a saying goes, I probably wouldn't say it right, but they say, a problem shared is a problem half.
Yeah.
You understand? So by absolutely, if I'm able to address some of these, my issues, if I've got concern for my children, you might have a similar experience with your children as well.
Through the same thing.
And we may be able to share support network together that we might be able to, oh, I've learned one or two things what Greg did.
Yeah.
Equally the same thing for you. But we don't do that. We have a very close community that I am interested in what Greg's or the flaws of Greg's family. And then Greg is interested, but you're not talking to me, but you're only interested to see how has it gone wrong.
Yeah,
you understand?
Maybe you can celebrate it instead of saying, let's learn from it.
So the resources, to answer your question, the resources that are out there, is one of the key things is parental engagement.
Right.
We can start engaging our children. I'm not one person, when I do a lot of the talking or when I meet victims or the families of victims towards this crime, I resent the blame culture.
All right.
Because I try to understand it from the inside perspective. How can you support? What are the causes of our children being attracted, first of all, into the gang? That's the thing, because before it becomes a crime, something attracts them. Yeah, so what are the deterrents? How can we deter those sorts of things? But if you've got as far as where all of those things you think you know, and then to answer your question where you said the resources are there, then start calling. You got the professional body. There's nothing wrong with calling the police.
Right.
Not to shop on your child, to say intervene.
Right.
They got police that are there to support, not to come and take your child and go and jail them because they carry a knife. They can interfere. So these are one of the things that we learn as a community ambassador. So you can actually call the police and say, look, I need you to come to my house. My child, I think, is carrying a weapon, or my child is hanging around with gangs, which I'm not comfortable with, or my child is beginning to go out with somebody or group of people which I'm not comfortable. Can you talk to them about a deterrent?
Right.
So you not wait till the crime happen before you invite police, or police come and knock on your door. The police are there. And then you have other professional bodies. What about the education system, the school? Reach the school. What about other professional bodies about parents supporting parents? So there are, you know, I talk about We Don't Talk. So there are other parents supporting parents. There are other groups. So many resources which we can use to intervene and deter. Don't wait until, for example, it's gone too far to do that. Or alternatively, locally get your children busy, i.e. take them...
Uncle Sam.
What did I say to you? I said to you, my uncle took me. If my uncle did not give me that opportunity those years back to say, can't go with me then Saturday, then yes, I was playing football and all of that stuff, you understand? But really, it wasn't really a full interest. But somebody engaged my interest bigger. Right. So get somebody that you're thinking, you know, Uncle Litu is a DJ, he's old now, he's retired. Let me get me 16-year-old for begin go with Litu and take over. But don't wait for me to ask.
The last SKV, you know, I think most people know what that is now.
Yes.
Apart from obviously the level of talent that was on display on the day, the kids, some of those kids, man, they were just, you know, bright futures ahead of them. One of the things for me that just broke my heart that day was, you had a gentleman there from the Met.
Yeah, the Met Police, an ex-detective.
And he was speaking about knife crimes and what we can do as a community to charm, you know. And I was just amazed. I'm looking at these parents in the crowd. No one was listening.
No.
No one was listening. He's talking and they were all just doing their own thing. Yeah. Why is it that you think we have such a bad relationship with the police in our community?
You know, I never got to speak to my guest that day afterwards on that matter. We spoke, but not on that, like, because what I didn't want to do, because if I say I apologize to him, he'll probably say, don't worry about it. But, and I thought, okay, I'm not going to try and address that because it'll probably look a little bit condescending, or he'll try to patronize me to make me, but I know he was disappointed. I knew he was disappointed because if you were there, you knew there was a time when he stopped. Even though the queen of social media tried to address the crowd. And I think there I am using a platform and using the best resource, which you talked about. You know what I mean? One of the best, you don't get better than this. This is a serving and an ex-copper, and who can give you and I a message, we are parents, and then the children that have not gone bad yet, remember, these are the 2-year-olds, the 0-year-old to the 16-year-old that are not gone bad yet, because any child that is bad was not in that particular platform because they won't be interested.
They won't be there. They won't be there.
So you want somebody like him to talk to these kids and to talk to us as parents. And what you need is complete attention. Get your phones. That's the time you record.
You might learn one thing.
You might learn a lot of things, Greg. And we failed to capitalize on it. So, and you say to me, why do we have a bad relationship? It's because did we understand the value of that man that was on that platform on that day? Or when I say we us, and I'm talking about my community. No, they didn't get it. If I was to go to 4 or 5 parents on that day and say, who was that guy that talked? Do you know what was his role?
I think he said at one point, he started to say, oh, some kid died this morning. He got stabbed last night, and unfortunately he died this morning. And parents are there, and no one is, I'm thinking...
And at that time you were expecting complete deafening silence, isn't it?
You're thinking, oh my gosh, everyone's going to be heartbroken.
He said, a few hours before I got here...
Unfortunately, I'm like... I know, I'm like, wow.
As a community ambassador with what I do, I believe that platform, which is the SKVS platform, is one of the key board which I'm going to use to communicate. I'm going to use that as a resource tool to engage the community, because my work is not only to is to deter, to prevent.
Obviously, that's
so it's prevention. So if I can have professionals to come on that platform and talk, you might ask me, say, what lessons have I learned? I know now, I'm hoping that with my team and everybody, like people like yourself that's around there, would have learned a lesson to say, when I have somebody like that, how can we use them better in the future so that when what they're saying, that message is capitalized on and people listen to what they're saying?
But how do you do that, though? If you have a situation where a Met officer say, oh, guess what? This morning before I came here, some kid just got killed. By the way, I'm not going to talk to you about what you can do to make sure it doesn't happen to one of your kids. And no one is listening. No one cares enough to even give him a minute. So how do you reach those people?
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. And that's why I said it's something I'm going to sit down and then look at with my team, and then we're going to review it. But how can I do it personally? If that was me personally, we will look at the parents of the kids. Okay, we'll look at the whole parents, we'll look at the setup. And then we thought, okay, we look at the timing. Maybe the timing, because it was probably poor.
Okay.
You understand? Because time management was crucial in that.
Right.
So at the time, there was already excitement. There were a few children which had performed.
Right.
So the excitement level was high.
Okay.
So if I can have a keynote speaker who can come in and address at the opening.
Right.
Yes, the masses would lose out because maybe the venue would not have been packed.
Okay.
But at least I would have had less people that would have been able to grab the message.
Right.
But that's not what I'm going to do. I said I'm going to do as a setting stone, but that's an idea.
Right.
But again, it's something that we will listen, we will get advice from people in the team and maybe other people. So.
Okay, so what's the future for SKVS? What have you got in the pipeline?
Well, Salone Kids Variety
Show. You know what I was like, just to interrupt you, you're actually small enough to perform in SKVS. You be in the under 12 category.
No, listen, I'm interested. I'm interested, Greg. Listen, you're not joking. I am interested. And I don't want you to see, I don't want you to be surprised if I'm not on that platform next year, because next year is a big year. It's 2019 is going to be our 5th SKVS. Right, cool. And then I'm looking at comedians. So I might do a 12-year-old stand-up comedy. So I will pass off as well. All I need to do is a little bit of a bigger jeans and all of that stuff, you know what I mean, and all of that stuff. I might have to lose the platinum teeth though, because a 12-year-old with the platinum teeth.
It's balling, you're balling, you're balling.
Pimp, you know what I mean? So that's what. But I'm thinking in what we've done with SKVS is to nurture talent, to identify. The main idea, as it says, it was inspiring children, raising champion.
Right.
And when we look at the mainstream industry, again, of Sierra Leonean superstars, and you look at these days, you see Nigeria, even to the X Factor that has just recently happened.
Right.
This year, last couple of years, because I follow those sort of things, because I want to learn from those templates.
Right.
Last couple of years, they've used Nigerian kids or Ghanaian kids. This year, they featured Caribbean kids. You understand? And one of them has gone to win.
Yeah, actually won.
You understand? So congratulations to him for that. But when you look at how many children that come up there and say, my parents are Sierra Leone.
Right.
Or my mom is Sierra Leone, my dad is English. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. We haven't seen. I thought, okay, let's nurture our own talent.
So you're almost kind of preparing them for that next level.
That next step.
Yeah.
You understand? The next level is what I'm preparing them for. But I'm not saying we're not doing it. There are Sierra Leonean families, parents who are investing loads of money, but they feel that's not the platform for them.
Right.
However, the markets which I am in, the entertainment market, if we do it locally and we do it well, right, we can instill enough confidence in some of these parents to go out there and believe in their children.
Believe in their children. I think that's one thing.
That's what I wanted to do.
One thing I was impressed with was the level of enthusiasm from the parent for the kids.
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome to see parents just getting excited, getting carried away, watching their kids perform.
It's become so competitive that at the end of SKVS, at least 1 month after, I am still insulted by parents that think I've
cheated them
on their child.
Like some of them is like it's like they are t-shirts made.
Let me tell you the real story about SKVS. Let's say the finals.
Right.
Now to audition these kids, I am begging the parents.
Say please, let me just bring your kid.
I don't see you picking up party.
I know talent.
Please. So I'm the one begging. Then comes the final.
Then the
parents start calling T-boy. I want T-shirts. I want 50 T-shirts. And it's not about. And it's not about.
I want it to be gold platinum.
You understand? It's not about.
We're gonna rent a car.
It's not about the child anymore.
Yes, become a.
Listen to me. I have a minibus with a camera too. I'm thinking, hang on a minute. I was the one begging. You know what I mean? I'm begging you for your child.
I was just like, I was impressed.
The parents become so competitive.
Right.
And whilst I celebrate that, if only they can take that from the onset.
If they were like that from the beginning.
From the beginning. Like, because you can see the drive. Right. And then it goes there for the child.
And it must be good for the kids.
It must be good for the kids. So, and I think, like, for example, going next, like, into the 5th year of SKVS, one thing I want to see, Greg, personally, and like from people like yourself that has come from the entertainment industry, I want to see a variety of talent.
Right.
I would like to see a variety of talent that would come out there and saying, we are Sierra Leonean children.
Right.
I don't just want to limit it to just being dancing, singing. I want to see children playing
the violin and they say...
Absolutely. I want to see a child come in there, the mom giving me a responsibility to say, can you find a piano? Me picking they can play piano. Make my head scratch. Have you got band? Me picking they can play band. So let me make it difficult for my team, the producers, you understand? And unfortunately, we don't have that. But I'm not saying it's not there. It's there. So those are what I would be hoping that we have more talent pool.
I was pretty impressed with the girl that did the ballet.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, oh, because you see dancers all the time.
The mom don't talk to me, by the way. Anyway.
Oh,
no, she doesn't talk to me. She doesn't talk to me. She reckons her daughter should have won. Because her daughter was completely different talent pool.
For me, she was my favorite.
Okay.
Whether or not she should have won, that's a different conversation. She was my favorite because, like I said, we see dancers all the time. We see street dances all the time. Yeah. We see rappers all the time in the community. Yeah. It was just really cool to see this girl come out there and she just like...
She was flawless.
She just did that
She was flawless. But she came third.
And it was like, oh,
she came third. We gave her third. And for me personally, I think she was good. Yeah. But one of the key things is, whilst we're trying to nurture talents, there's one thing which we're trying to do as well, is the opportunity to have an entertainment platform.
Right.
And just to wrap it up on that SKVS thing is the fact that the last few years we've not been able to work with too many of the artists or the kids that have won.
Right.
Because either access to the family, access because of distance. We've only worked for a long time with one of the artists, which was like Afro Minis, and we've stayed with them too long and we needed something else, a next journey.
Right.
So we had to look at the entertainment value and accessibility.
Right.
That's how we guided our judges to move on with the decision. So.
No. I mean, I think SKV, like for me, like I said, for me as a thing, as an idea, I respect you for what you're trying to do. I think it's a really good thing.
We are all in it together because I needed the support from everybody around me, because a lot of people see 4 people, myself, Maria 222, Auntie Sata, but there's a bigger community support.
So that's another thing I think we can touch on that. Like, you know, for the most part, we understand as we are all there for each other. I can reach out to you, you know, anytime I need a DJ, I can reach out to you.
Yeah.
Anytime I need something, you reach out to us, likewise. But there's areas in our community that we don't have that support. Like people don't feel they can reach out. You know, I think the support is there. Everyone is pretty cool. We're like, you know, but people don't reach out until it's too late. And everyone starts, oh, let's raise money to fix this.
Yes.
Instead of you know, we could have given you food to keep you alive when you were still alive, kind of like.
Exactly. So why wait till you're dead and then you kill the cow?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's the one. That's the one.
My grandmother.
That's the one.
Bless her soul. The last of my grandparents, and she passed away. We were thankfully in Sierra Leone in 2016, and then he said, it's because she calls me my husband. So she said to me, man, make sure say you buy the cow now before I die. Unfortunately, I didn't buy the cow, and she passed away 2017 in that year, 2000. So we were there December, January 2016-17, and then she passed away in 2017 on my wife's birthday.
Oh, that's a day.
You understand? So
that's a date.
Because she always calls my wife my mate. So I said,
so she wanted to ruin her birthday. She wanted to ruin her birthday.
Forever. You understand?
Oh man,
so like, because
crew.
she was she's really cool. She was really fond of me, and like, you know, and but at the time, and then to be honest with you, on a personal note, I refused to contribute towards the cow because I felt guilty. Right. Because even though she had said it in a humorous way, I could have done it when she was still alive. Even though she was poorly at that time, she was still poorly, and she said, buy this cow for me, or let your wife eat and want him. But why would I buy the cow when I know she's not going to be the one to eat it and somebody else is going to eat it? So that really sort of affected me psychologically and emotionally as well. But that's the kind of thing we do in the community. As you said, we wait till it's all collapsed. If we take it back to the music for a second, when I said the thing about collaboration in the community, what do you think of it? I'm from a point of like, okay, right now, name me a song with MSC and Famous. Oh, God. That's a good question you've asked me. Do you know what? Name me a song. Name me a song with Famous and anyone. Name me a song with MSC and anyone. Name me a song with Cayman and anyone. That's a very interesting question. Because if you have a situation... It will work. When Emerson is in his wheelchair, Famous is in his wheelchair, when they're desperate now. And then they're in an old people's home together. And then they like sleeping on straws. And then they'll come together and work together. And then they'll do a song which is socially and collaboration, conscious song. Oh, if we be low. You know what I mean? Kind of like, you don't need, because can you imagine? Who's going to dance to that? Can you imagine? Because my children would not be interested in that. They would like it because of the nostalgic factor. Yeah. But I wanted to dance to Emerson and Famous because that's my generation when they were banging hot tunes. I can imagine looking forward to a song coming out and say, oh, there's a song coming out. It's Famous featuring Emerson, or Famous featuring Cardinal, or Emerson featuring LAJ. Can you just imagine that, like, you know, just the idea. And then when it does, make sure that it's a hit as well. Yeah, because obviously that's what you're going to put out. If you're going to put that out, if you're going to put that much energy and talent into get that, you expect it to. That's what I feel about collaboration. That's why you do it. I am agreeing with you 100%. But let's say, for example, now, the appetites, with even the appetites for, and using those two gentlemen as an example, would the appetite be there from the community? No. So I would fast forward now to what's happening now, what's trending now. So I would look at my Rosé. For this one, you understand? And she's trending. Or let's look at our Mahmoode and Nigga Don. So Mahmoode, everybody knows is banging. Nigga Don is banging. To be fair, you see the likes of, what do you call it? Emerson has worked with other artists on albums, which is constant. But those tracks have not banged. They've not hit. Famous has done it as well. Those tracks have not hit. And you're thinking, so when you get into the studio, who puts in less effort? Oh, you think it's because okay, not to be sorry, I'm not going to put the effort. Yeah, you know what I mean. So let them ask themselves that question. I'm not saying who puts in more effort, who puts in less effort, because somebody turns out there or turns up in the studio and does not turn up on the microphone. You understand? And then it affects, but why? And that should be completely, we need to change that mindset, Greg. They need to change that mindset. And that's something the producer will not be able to do, because the producer will build the biggest banging beats. You understand? If the artist, one of them fail to turn up, you understand, it's not going to hit. The reason why you will see a Tiwa Savage trending or Yemi Alade trending in all of these other people, their tracks, because when
they deliver,
they deliver purely because of the love of the music, not because I'm coming to support. Just because it's Greg's night, no. I'm going to DJ I'm going to have my worst set.
Yeah, imagine that. You can imagine that.
Do you know what I mean? It's not right, because tomorrow I'm going to need Greg to do my wedding. Right. You understand? So what's going to happen? So, and I think, as you said, the collaboration needs to work, but everybody needs to turn up. Everybody needs to turn up and be fair to the music.
I respect artists for different reasons, right? When you're obsessed with music the way we are, you rate music differently. Mm. You get to a point where you respect artists because of what they have to say.
What they say.
And that's why I think someone like I was saying, we were talking about him before we actually started official. Yeah. The guy, for me, is just on a whole different level from everyone else. I remember, as far as music coming out Sierra Leone, Bobo Bele is the only album, Sierra Leonean album that I bought. I remember having a copy. I still remember the guy with this big belly, yellow thing, and the white. Because that album had content. You can listen to it. And the community, we talked about the album for months.
It's probably one of the only albums that you can go out. So, you know, like when you do all these random, you know what I mean, checkpoint shows, like you do like a really light entertainment to see, Anorak shows.
Right.
Say, you sabi famous in first album, who's one of the color?
Yeah. If you
ask anybody about Bobo Bele, I'm telling you, if you ask 10 people,
9 of them
at least 9 people will tell you that it's got yellow and it's got the big man with the
because the album had content.
And it's not because of the artwork.
No.
It's because of the content.
It's because it had content.
Because there was something there for you to embrace.
That, what we call viral now.
Yes.
That album went viral before viral was viral.
Before viral was viral.
Because I've heard people talking about this album. Have you heard? And you think, okay, let me go here.
It was a scene if you didn't have it in your shelf.
Let me go and hear it. Let's go and hear it.
That album, as she said, the sleeve, I could remember. The sleeve was photocopied so much, so people are having it in white. Because the yellow had been exhausted.
I think it was a Campbell. One of my friends, they had a shop. Yeah. So they had the money transfer shop.
Yeah, yes.
I think that's where I was when I got there. I still remember. Because it was a thing. It was a moment. It happened. It was like a moment.
Can I say something to you, Greg? And I think this is one of the key things. When we talked about, when I mentioned earlier about the music struggling, there's a lot of Sierra Leonean songs nowadays where there are no singers.
Right.
There are no singers. Singing is missing. Singing, there's a lot of effort coming into the beats, being put into the beats. But there are no singers. And I go to Sierra Leone, like I've been fortunate within the last 4 years, been going back and forth every season period. You understand? And then you notice that the singing is missing. Why are they not singing? When you look at the top 10, let's take the top 10 Nigerian artists, the top 10 Ugandan artists, the top 10 Ghanaian artists. How many rapping songs?
Apart from, I think Sarkodie is the only Sarkodie.
You understand?
He's probably the only one. Yeah.
You understand? So, but everybody is trying to deliver. If you name the top 10 Sierra Leonean artists, at least 3 or 4 of them will be rappers.
And I think...
And I don't know, I'm not saying there is no appetite for rap music. I find it very clearly, I will say this in front of the camera, a very lazy way to deliver music. The reason why I say I find it very lazy, because what it is, it's easy to rap your way out of rubbish. You understand?
To rap your way out of rubbish.
Yes, not rap your way into
rhyming.
No, because it's easy to rap your way. You can say you rap your way into rubbish, but you rap your way out of rubbish. You understand? Because you can say, well, if the music is not good now, the rap now no good. You understand? But make an effort, sing, deliver the song, and deliver a song for what it is. You understand? Look at this thing. At first, then say me na liability. You understand? And then you follow on that track. You're thinking, wow. That's already like at first then saying a liability. Who is the person telling you that you're a liability? Why are you a liability? What has made you become a liability is drawing your interest straight away. You understand? And that kind of thing. And when you listen to that young kid at the time, people like, hang on a minute, who is this?
Yeah, you're such a kid. You're
such a kid. That song is, that line alone is older than you.
Exactly. It's just
like when Emma says to me, that line is older than you.
What you just did there, this is what music is supposed to do. Yeah. You're supposed to hear a line, I think.
Yep.
What did you just say?
Yeah. If somebody said to you at first, then say me a liability, you want to explore your mindset. Yeah, you want to crack your head just to do the mathematics to know, what has made you become liability. Yeah. Who has told you that you're liability? And why are you a liability? And all of that kind of thing. Like, you want to just mesmerize yourself just to figure out. But guess what? It will give you a key interest to complete the entire of that song.
Because it makes...
Is there a story behind why is she a liability? You understand? And but we are missing that. Like I said, Greg, we have that one that will take you to the 40%.
So what do we do then? What do we do? What do we do? Because we've spoken to artists. We've done that. I know you've done that. Yeah. I remember you talking to us about the conversation you had with LAJ when he did that, when he came out with the Tower for You. Yeah. I had the same conversation
after the what do you call it? I should say the Lollipop, Monina Bank, and all of that kind of thing. Sorry, Pulana Yumot, and all that. So you're thinking, okay. I don't know how many people have spoken to you, but guess what? I like you. But mine was simple. Make music for them, granny them. Simple, my language to him.
Yeah, but that's how it works.
I can understand you. No, mate. I like you. I'm struggling to play your music, I said to him. Because my audience is club DJ.
Yeah, my audience don't like, they don't dance to that.
I'm not a club DJ.
Right.
So can you make music for me?
I can play.
So I can play.
And he did.
And he did.
And he did. So we've always had artists bring you songs. You're a DJ, that's what happens, especially when you're in the club DJs. People bring you songs, oh, play my song. You go home, you listen to it and you think, okay, this song isn't ready. As an artist, maybe you're not quite ready. You need to go work on it. But they don't understand that. They just, oh, you're just hating. It's because I'm not giving you money, because I'm not Nigerian. Oh, you always play all those Nigerian songs, all those big artist songs. Those big artists pull out 50 songs. I play 2.
Yeah.
I play less than 5% of the materials they put out, but you just gave me one song.
Yeah.
And you think, oh, you don't play my song. Maybe your song.
That one song has to go and fit.
It doesn't fit into the song that I do.
No, they want it to fit right in. You know, I'm glad you've touched on, because as you know, in the community or in the music industry, especially in Sierra Leone, there is this friction between artists versus DJs. And it's something that we've called conferences, we've had meetings, we've had local representation, we've tried to work with some of the producers or some of their management, for those who have management, and all of that stuff, Greg, we've done it. And quite clearly, whilst I will say the DJ can support in making an artist, it's also something that I will say categorically clear. For the record, the DJ is not responsible for making an artist. Yes, can contribute, but not responsible for making an artist. You've touched on it very, very well, the way you just summarized it. My responsibility is to provide a service. And my service is an audience. Sometimes it's a paid audience. You understand? What makes me a better DJ is by delivering that consistently on a week-to-week or on a day-to-day, on a month-to-month basis when I got the platform. However, what makes me an even better DJ, or DJ that can be loved and trusted, if I have somebody who I love, who might not even be, for example, let's say IE. Nobody knows them in this world, but they've got one material which I'm going to be playing. Because either because I love what they've played, I think there's a massive opportunity there. If I constantly keep featuring it, 10 people will go to like it, 10 people will become 100 people, and so on and so forth. But if you walk into me as an artist with one material, and then I have my quiet moment, and then I listen to it in my quiet moments, and I feel it ain't ready, I'm not going to feature it. Maybe I don't have the time to talk to you about it, because I don't want to pick up the phone and call you. I want to see you and tell you, Jock, this is not ready yet too. But if you turn up to my parties and I'm playing, I didn't play, and then you go on social media.
Yeah, start hating and blasting me for not playing
certain DJs are just playing other artists when they even pay them. You've just put your record not only 10, 100 meters behind, you've put it in, not even in my room. You understand? You put it out. So you understand? So that's what we need to. We need to get that relationship.
How come there are no women in our industry?
I have to puff that one out. Yeah, because the reason why I would say I have to puff that one out, for somebody like myself, that's been there for so long, do I know women DJs? Because DJ is what I know. I don't produce music or I don't record artists. Yes, I have come across. I remember back in the days there was a DJ. There's a DJ called DJ Imran. Had his girlfriend or his partner who was a DJ. I know of her very well. I can't remember her name, Swad or something of the sort. That might not be her name, but anyway, she was a DJ that I knew of. And then there was another older lady that used to walk around with a CD bag as well. And she knew music as well. But I don't know her name, but she wasn't like, I did not know any DJ, female DJ, that carry DJ boxes, go and set up and say this. Do you understand? And that's from a DJing point of view. From, what do you call it, the technical part of things, like producer, engineer, I don't think I've ever heard in the Sierra Leonean community or outside of the Sierra Leonean community to say, maybe within the Western world, in mainstream, I should say, they are there. But I don't know. And even if they're there, you don't see them like the way you talk about, they'll talk about your Pitong, the big producers, you know, the Simon Fullers of this world. Don't know, your Don Jazzies. Yeah, I don't know. Now Afrobeat is trending. It'd be nice, like with the growth of Afrobeat, let's hear about a female producer to say, for example, that's responsible for banging the hits, you know, for all these artists. But maybe, Greg, I've got an idea. Now you ask me that question. Maybe that's the light bulb moment we need for Sierra Leonean music industry. Let's get a Sierra Leonean female producer. Maybe they might be able to. Because
I'm struggling right now to name Sierra Leonean female artists. I can think of, obviously, right now, what's her name? Rose.
Yeah.
She's like,
trending?
She's trending right now.
So you got your Star Z?
Star Z, but these are like, okay, Star Z, because she just did that thing in Ghana. Yeah. She was on social last week.
So you got your Empress P?
Empress P.
These are the young kids, by the way. But if you look, going back, you got the Sugar Lulu, then DJ Lulu. You've got M2. You've got your Willie J's. You know, like...
But like, you're going back now. You're really going back. This is more like Willie J. She's still active, though.
No.
Exactly.
Well, I'm not sure. I can't say no. You got your Lady Felicia.
Yeah, they're not active anymore.
I don't think they are active anymore. I'm thinking...
You know, like if we say right now, right now, people that are like just out with the Afrobeat, like the Nigerian community, it's Tiwa Savage. Yeah. And even then, that's what I'm saying, like, even the problem is...
You got your Yemi Alade.
It's not just Tiwa Savage, Yemi Alade, and then...
You got Tenny, who's a new girl that's just come.
The number is something like 2 to 10. I don't know. I've been... The only... Okay, DJ Hopi.
Yeah.
She's coming up. She's trying to attain. I think maybe we could do more to support her, because I've, you know, I see her on social, like, maybe we should reach out to her and try and support her a little bit more, because she's really trying to do anything. I think she's got a potential. And I personally have worked with her. Okay. And I've thrown her gigs out there when she was in university, areas which I couldn't go because of the affordability. So I thought, okay, I've got somebody that's up there, and I reached out to her. I said, look, Hopi, there is work for you. Would you like to be interested? And she's gone. And then I've got a feedback where they said she's done a very good job. So you're right. Maybe we should not wait for her to come knocking. Yeah, we should look at her, because she's a rarity. There's a young girl which you may not know of. She's called China, DJ China Lee One. She spelled the Leon as Lee One. She's a Sierra Leonean girl that is big. She's got an all-female DJ agency. Right. Okay, I think I've heard of that agency before. So she doesn't do our local social. Right, mainstream stuff. And she tours with her DJing. What kind of music does she play? But I have a funny story to tell you. When she was learning, many years ago, when she started, she stood right next by my side. And I have to say, I was one of the people that influenced her. She was highly interested. She was only like 15, 16 at the time. She said, I want to DJ, I want to DJ, DJ Litu, I want to DJ. And, you know, she's ever so stayed grateful. She's doing very well. Whenever she's around, she's always say, oh, DJ Litu, I'm around. Can you give me some Sierra Leonean music? I'm a little bit lacking on Sierra Leonean music and that sort of thing. I have to mention CC. I was there from the beginning. The first time she was on record. And CC, every time you do an interview, every time you're on TV, every time when you get big, you have to say this all the time. I'm not playing with you.
Yeah.
First time she was on record was in my living room. I put that girl on her first record.
Absolutely.
I remember I used to tell her, CC, like, CC, go take singing lessons. Go take singing lessons. I don't want to hear anything. Go take singing lessons. I don't know what she did. I don't want to credit for. I don't know what she did. She went away, came back. I heard this woman sing, and I was blown, blown.
She's worked. She's worked very hard.
OMG, I was blown listening to CC, and you can see the confidence in the woman that she, okay, I'm in my element now.
There's a young artist who's turned her life around in terms of the way she presents herself and package herself with her team. Aisha C.
Okay, okay.
So, like, obviously, when she started, you saw the hunger, the desire, and everything. And, like, teaming up with somebody who has passion and understands the industry, she's been transformed. And she is somebody I can say in 2 years' time, if she maintains the momentum and the work rate, she would probably become a household name internationally for Sierra Leone music.
Right. And she has the image as well. The image that, you know, what you pop artist, you know, because I'm sure someone like Aisha C can just do with having a seat with you and say, Litu, what do you think of my sound? What do you think of what I'm doing? How can I, what do I need to do?
I think in many respects, it's one of the key things which we said earlier. I think the packaging, sometimes she doesn't have to do it. Her manager might have to do it. Maybe a producer, maybe a member of a team. And I think a lot of these artists find themselves lost within that framework where they don't have somebody to reach out. So as you said, I'm probably one of the most accessible person. Difficult to get to, but when you get older, you can make it happen. We can make it happen and say, look, can you listen to my stuff and let me know what you think? And I have artists. And these days we have the platforms. Yeah,
you just send it to me. You Dropbox me. You don't, I don't have to meet you. We don't actually have to meet. Yeah.
You understand? And then we can just deliver. We can give you a honest feedback as I can. You understand? Because if I don't do you justice, then I'm not doing my industry justice.
Obviously, we all want to. Like, the thing is, you want to be able to. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure I want to be able to say, you see, that artist, when CC eventually makes it, which I know she's gonna do, like because she's got it. I can say, I started that off.
Indeed.
You can't take that away from me.
You know, when I went to Sierra Leone, I've been inundated with so many relationships which I've developed there, and artists keep sending me their stuff, and it's a struggle to actually come back and actually feed back to them straight point. But you hope that the next time you visit, you can give them a much more constructive feedback, because the distance, they may not be able to understand the what kind of feedback you're going to put. But if they sit down with you and then you put their hand over your shoulder and say, look, first of all, you ask them the simple question, was this track mastered? Because their understanding of master, because they would say, hey, the engineer will be done with him.
I think, listen, mate, there's a lot of room. There's a lot of room for improvement, what we're trying to do. There's a lot of room, and we just take it one step at a time. I think mostly, like you said, there's a lot of talent. That's how I say it. There's talent, but there's not enough people that understand how to go from the beginning to the end. There's not really a roadmap. Like, we haven't got that.
I think we're beginning to see that now. When you talk about roadmap, and I'm glad you mentioned it, because when you look at the likes of what KME, Kabaka, the CEO is doing, I'm beginning to liking that. Because liking that, as in a sense, is you can see there's a process. There's a roadmap that's beginning to build. Let's see how that journey, we observe it keenly, and we see, because we thought something was going to be completed with the LXG, where you saw the roadmap started. But for some reason, it hasn't completed. You know, like when your road starts and then they're not on the road. And with KME, you can see a process. We saw how successful the Echo Fest, which was put together, was delivered in Sierra Leone. Apart from the technicalities, but in terms of the momentum, the spirit was there, the artists that came and integrate. Because how many times have we had Sierra Leonean artists integrate with other Sierra Leonean non-Sierra Leonean artists, other Afrobeat superstars? Sometimes it's just one that will come in there and then take over our national. But this time was us, pound for pound, versus the other artists we celebrated, and it brought in the numbers. Now, it's the next step of that roadmap.
Why is LSG not bigger internationally?
Interesting question. Greg, and I think whilst I feel I am the right person to ask, because if I say to you no, you say, well, DJ Litu, now you know the Moses for Salone music. Why is LXG not big internationally? I don't have the perfect answer, I'll be honest with you. But what I would say, in my opinion, is what's missing is the fact that the X factor is not there. They are heroes, right, locally, right, nationally in Sierra Leone. They've got materials which have gone out. Right. But how they sellable themselves? Most of the artists that have gone big, your Davidos, your Tiwa Savage, your Wizkid, your Technos, Timayas, you have to sell them.
All right, okay, so let's look at LXG. You have a beautiful girl, beautiful young girl. Yeah. You have two guys now, because it's just the two up there. Yeah. They look decent. Yeah. They look decent, right? So that's just image, right? Yeah. They make good songs. These guys consistently make really good songs. Absolutely. Right? I think they're probably the most consistent.
Within the last 4 or 5 years?
Probably up 10 years. They're consistent. I mean, there's people that make one song. Yeah. We've had people that make probably like one or two big songs. Yeah. But these people, for the last few years, when I say they haven't been around that long, but just saying like consistent. They just consistently
bang hits
every few months they have a song. Yeah. So why is it like we can't take that to? Why can't we take that to outside of the community?
How far can one man make noise? And how far no, let me rephrase. We got a saying in Sierra Leone, so let me paraphrase it just saying one hand bang will not shake. That cause no noise. So I've got like one of these now, you understand?
Right. It doesn't make no noise.
If I put two of these, there you go. Do that again. That's what it is. So LXG, obviously there are 3 people in the group, but it's a one item. Why I said that is what are the elements, what are the package? Is there a management team there? If there is a management team, how far, what are the structures are embedded? So you understand, so it could be a catalog of so many other things, Greg, which have not been put together, the process. Somebody is responsible, who's selling, who's the PR person, who's the fashion person they're selling. You know, there is a brand missing.
That's why I said earlier, when I said we don't have a roadmap from the beginning to the end. We have this conversation all the time, and for some reason, it always feels like there's always more to be said or more that we can do. Yeah, we can have and we can be all day. Yeah. Seriously, we can be all day. But outside of like music and the entertainment industry, you know, you've got SKVS, which obviously, you know, for those who don't know, I'd like you to talk to, like, touch on it a little bit. You've got your radio work. Yeah. So what is like Big Man Little doing, mate?
Well, the Salone Kids variety show, which is the SKVS, is again, is my passion. And outside of that, and I do the radio, which is, again, I use my vocal, my voice, to reach out to diaspora, the diasporans by calling it Diaspora Voices, which I say, come and talk to me. Let's talk about the everyday matters to discuss Sierra Leonean related stories. Right. Okay? And how it affects us, especially my focus in Sierra Leonean stories within the UK and Ireland, sold, as well as I do take Sierra Leonean stories in Sierra Leone as well, and other parts of the world. But I look at myself with my community work, and I thinking maybe if I'm struggling to knock on the doors and make difference, can I go inside of the government and make that difference inside? If you see inside, it's kind of
keep going.
You know what I mean? Like,
we're listening. I'm listening.
I want to go inside of the government. So like, but
I will. So am I gonna have to go vote for you as a presidency?
Well, I hate politics.
Okay.
I hate politics, but sometimes you struggle. You have, as they say, there's a saying in the national lottery, you have to be in it to win it. Right. So if you're not in it, you can't say me 6 number don't come up. Right. You understand? It's not ever gonna come up. Right. So maybe, just maybe, and I don't want to do politics for doing politics' sake. Okay. I want to do politics for actually making a real difference. And I don't want to do Sierra Leonean politics. I have to be very, very clear. Okay. I don't know what the future holds.
All right, Prime Minister then. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yeah, in the UK, why not? Okay. So I thought, okay, maybe I'm not even registered or affiliated to any political party in the UK and Ireland. So I don't know Labour, Liberal Democrats, or Conservative. I am not. But I'm thinking, maybe if I have an interest in going to becoming registered within a ward,
Okay.
Becoming a councillor. You know what I mean? Just register. But as yet, Greg, I'm like thinking, whose party were for register? Because like within the various elections for the many years I've been in this country, and apart from one of the parties, I voted for the other two parties. Right. So I voted either way, either in main electoral elections or local council elections. So I don't know. So I have to sit down, talk to family members, look at senior elders that are understanding, and ask for guidance.
Right.
But I believe maybe if I have interest in the role of a councillor, in whichever party I decide, whether it's a Labour, whether it's a Liberal Democrat, I might be able to make a real difference, because I believe I need to reach out to my community. I believe the community needs me.
All right, so that's where we are now. That's where we are at the moment.
Yes,
cool.
Yes. So you might be able to tell me, because you don't vote. So like if I say to you, Greg, Liberal Democrats or Labour, they're both L's. So I don't care.
They're both taking L's.
so I don't know. So but I really want to go in there, and I believe that's the only way for me personally. People say, well, if you do a lot of work from what you carry on the way you do, you're gonna make. But this is a different ball game. This is a different country, and I feel it. For those who have achieved it. I look at what Makishek got as far as becoming a mayor, the Blancos of this world. And I can categorically say, if I had an opportunity like that, Sierra Leoneans will celebrate me in years to come.
Do you look back sometimes and think, oh, I wish I can go back and do that differently?
Yeah. Me personally, like, for example, things that I would have done differently to help my musical career, I wish I played an instrument.
I could actually see you singing. I would love to see you sing, like to hear you sing. Like, I want to be in the studio when you're recording it.
I'm the best singer in my house. In the shower.
I'm not sure what that says about your house, but okay. I'm not sure.
When I'm having my bath in the morning, I'm the best singer, mate. But on a serious note, I wish I played instrument. There's two things I wanted to play that I regretted not pushing for it, because I won't say the opportunity was not there, because as you know, my stepfather is a musician, he's a legend.
Brilliant,
and,
man.
You understand? And,
talented, man.
Like fully, not only because my uncle got me into DJing, but inspired by him because he's been around my life since I was about 10 years old.
Right.
So that's a massive inspiration for me personally. And I wish I would have pushed him enough, because I did ask, but I wanted to play drums. Maybe because it was not an area of his interest.
Yeah, he couldn't teach you.
I wanted to play drums and maybe keyboard. But guess what? You know, like life imitates art.
Right.
My daughter is a massive grade 2 distinction drummer.
Okay.
And we don't know. And I recently watched her just as early as last week, where she played with a professional band. There was only 3 of them, 3 kids in the school, in their band group, selected to play with professionals.
Right.
And I was moved. So I put it on my status. It's the first time I've seen her play. I've driven her to go do the exams.
And you've never watched it?
Yeah, because the exams, you come out, then you do the pay and leave them, and then you come back about 45 minutes to collect. And for the first time I saw my daughter play, I was in tears.
Look at that. But
so she's playing what I did not play.
How would you play drum, though? Oh, you have to reach the... How would you play drums?
Have you seen dwarfs play drums?
How would you play drums, bro?
You bring the drums closer.
I'm trying to imagine you play drums. How would you reach the...
It would have been possible.
Or like you get like special extension foots and stuff.
Extension legs. You know the push pad. They just put extra layers on it, and then, you know what I mean? But like drumming is something that I thought I wanted to play, but it's inspiring, and I really love to see the fact that my daughter is playing drum, so I can almost picture myself. And then fast forward, my son singing.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, wow, these kids are doing what I wanted to do. You see what I mean, Greg? So you said I wanted to. I'm singing, but my son is singing for me.
That's like,
I'm playing drum. My daughter is playing drum for me. I'm dancing, which everybody knows I can't dance, but my youngest daughter is dancing for me. So all my 3 kids, all wrapped up in one, are doing exactly what I wanted to do. So I wish I would have learned to do either of those things. Yeah, to sing would have been nice, because an inspiration for me would have been, for me personally, is King Masco. Right. Massive influence in my life for some weird reason, or well, not weird reason, because I think my first week I stepped foot in the UK, King Masco played in Hackney.
Oh, you saw that and you thought, oh, this is what I want to do.
Hello world, this is what I wanted to do. You understand? I was there in Hackney Empire when Masco was Masco.
Right.
And my stepdad was the one that produced that album, that massive success album with inspiration there, you understand? And I saw energy, I saw, because it's the, like, obviously we see, when we were young, you see artists performing Sierra Leone variety shows and all of that. This was electrifying.
Different
this
level.
is like a big boy going into a proper concert and all of that stuff. And I'm thinking, I want this.
This is what I want to do.
I want this, I want this now.
Yeah.
I want to do this. And ever since then, it's been a massive inspiration to me. So, like, I'm grateful. There's been many, but I'm not going to take anything away from Masco because I think he's somebody that has kept me doing what I wanted to do. Because, remember, he came from a DJing background.
Yeah.
So, I don't know why I haven't seen. It's not late yet.
I want to go back to SKVS for a while. If you can just touch a little bit what it is, how do I get a kid to go be on the show, how the process works, you know.
So obviously SKVS is Salone Kids Variety Show.
Right.
So that's what it is. And Salone Kids Variety Show, it does exactly what it says on the tin.
Right.
We open up the door to Sierra Leonean talents, raw talents, which we encourage parents to, if you feel that your child, when they go to party, they're excited, they like for dance, they like singing, they like to, you know what I mean, or other kids that are doing professionally, but they don't have that platform or you don't have the confidence yet. Because some of the parents, it's not that they don't want to, maybe they've not seized the confidence yet. Why not use the SKVS platform as a first port of call to showcase, for example, like Angel, the 80-year-old ballerina who you love, you understand? She's already taking professional ballerina. We have Angelina, the girl that came second, that sang the Whitney Houston song. So she's already a singer that takes singing lessons. But the parents sees SKVS platform as that first port to perform to see how the confidence, if the child has got that confidence. So because next time, what we do, we mentor. So the winning child is mentored for a whole year, giving them a lot of exposure within the local community. And if we feel that we have the confidence enough or the child is strong enough, we complete the process of filling an application form to say, try and get them to Britain's Got Talent or X Factor. Depends on which talent pool they have. So that's what it is. And we reach out to the parents by saying to them, you don't have to fill an application form, because we try to make it easy accessible, because we thought the last couple of years, parents don't like using the form, the paper. So you just send us a little bit of a video. Send us the name, the date of birth of your child, the contact number, and what your child is doing.
We'll take it from that. We'll take it from there.
We make the phone call, as I say. We are the one that begging.
Until the end, when they bring the T-shirt and the limousine.
So, for example, this year we had about 40 children so far. Smaller than what we've had, but I think it's been a blessing. That's why this year the talent pool is stronger. So we had less numbers, but we were able to select. And we had those few 8 to 12 children that we put on the final. And that's how we select those kids and put them there. And some of the parents even dropped out before the end, by the finals, because they've not driven, because they were still in doubt. And all that. So, but it's fine. So what we do, we then profile and push and work with the parents. Because what we do, if your child is a singer, towards the final, we work on a master class. Say, oh, work with this person. We have somebody that supports us all the way. And if they're dancers, we create a masterclass of all the dancing. Try to get one of the top name Afrobeat artists. We've been lucky enough to have Sherry Silva in the past, who's doing extremely well, to work with us with the dancing kid and give a masterclass together. So that's the sort of thing. My advice to parents is, if you feel your child has got the potential, encourage them or contact us, which we've now got a website, which is lmts@promotion.co.uk. So it's out there, so anybody can access it, which is www.lmtspromotion.co.uk. You go there, we've made it easy. There's a lot of pictures there which you can see what we've done in the past. So we're excited about that, just to see the legitimacy and how genuine we're trying to make effort. It's just to develop local talent, Sierra Leonean talent, and nourish them, and as you said, open that gateway. We just want to be the gateway. Because so tomorrow, when I didn't have me old people's home, when they've become the Beyoncés of this world, this old man.
I did that.
Yeah,
I did that. You know?
Gave me that platform. Do you know what I mean? Or you might come and see me with one bouquet of flower.
Yeah.
And some chocolates to suck tea because there will be no more.
But that time you have nothing. You have no. You'll be like.
Yeah.
I'm not even. I'm gonna let you. If you know you've done well for me today, so I'm not gonna abuse you anymore.
Thank you.
You know.
I need to tell you about my work.
Oh yeah, like go on a charity work.
Yes,
right.
because I can't come here on Sierra Gem and not tell you about the greatness things which is passionate to my heart. It's very close to my heart. And as you know, tragically, I lost my eldest sister to breast cancer about 4 years ago. I mean, I so rest in peace. So, and then, and prior to that, we've lost family members through cancer. And so we've done a lot of work to support people for, like, or families that have lost someone through cancer, not just breast cancer. And prostate cancer as well, for me, is something that's close to my heart because that's obviously prostate only affects men. Right. You understand? So, and I think, as you know, the statistics is out there to show 1 in 4 men will have prostate cancer in their life. You understand? Which is scary. So it could be me, it could be you. So one of the key things that we use is use the platform to showcase and educate and raise awareness about reducing the risk of you having cancer and doing a lot of work and giving back to the community. So what we do, what I do personally, I want to every year through a local platform, or I only do like a single event, right? Which is Countdown with one of my young mentees that I brought up in, and he's been with me for so long, DJ Ish. We give back to a local cause. So this year we've chosen to give back to a charity, a cancer research charity, which looks after prostate cancer and the mental awareness, you know, mental health awareness, because when you have those sort of diseases, your mental health like sort of deteriorates as well, because if you're not strong enough mentally,
I think
then the disease
it just kills you. Like
it just kills you
can't.
Because so this cancer, they call them the group is called Head to Toe. Okay. So what we're gonna be doing, we're gonna be giving back to that particular project, that cause, and also one of the things I'm looking to do in the future, if health permit me, and many of my umbrellas, because next year I'm inspired already. My younger brother, as I said, DJ Ish, is going to be running a 10
marathon. Are you doing a marathon then?
No, I'm planning on cycling because I like cycling. Okay. So what I'm looking to do is possibly in the future, I'm not saying it's a set in stone yet. In 2 years' time, I want to celebrate my big 4-5 by cycling from London to Brighton and cycling back from Brighton. This is a first exclusive year, I'm saying, and I'm going to commit to it. Okay. Prior to that, nobody else knew about that apart from the family and my manager, who's looking after me now, who's inspiring me to do more on what I'm doing with Aisat Asise.
Oh, thank you for sharing that with us.
You understand? So there's a lot of things. So if anybody wants to support and wants to help out any of the projects that which we're doing, they can just contact me. Okay, cool. Is it like the cycling thing? I know with marathon, you can wear costumes and stuff, right? The cycling thing, are you allowed to wear? Because I would like to sponsor your costume. I would like to sponsor. I'm willing to pay money for you to wear something that I want you to wear. Spandex. I wear spandex. Is that a possibility? I don't care. Find out. If you're generously gonna give, the team will look at it, and then who knows, I'll wear pink spandex. No, I'll choose what you want to. Don't worry about it. I'll choose for you what you're going to wear. You find out if it's possible for me to sponsor what you're going to wear, and let me know. If the price is right, we might just do it. All right, you let us know, I will do that. If the price is right, Greg, we might just do it. But that's the plan, is to cycle from London to Brighton and Brighton to London. And that's what I'm planning on doing. And I'm hoping that the Sierra Leonean community across the UK and Ireland would be... would come on board and support. Big man, thank you. Thank you. I want to be like you when I grow up. We try. You've already grown up more than me. Big man, thank you so much for coming out. Thank you, Greg. I really appreciate this platform. Mrs. Litu, sorry, we kept him later than we said we were, but I'm sorry, mate. You know. Don't worry, she's fine. I want to say thank you to the rest of the family. Thank you to my wife, my children, for being very, very, very patient. And I can't say how much I love you guys. And I know you guys don't get to hear this from me in person. and sometimes I pass on the message, but that's the best way I can do it. But I really appreciate the sacrifice that you guys sacrifice. And thank you to Sierra Gem Media for the opportunity. And I believe Sierra Leone music will go global and the dance will go viral.
So that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Like I said, keep an eye out for this channel, Nubian Nice TV, Sierra Gem Media. We've got some pretty interesting people coming up in the next few weeks. Peace. Go that way. Come this way. Yes, again. Happy? I'm happy. Yeah? Yeah. All right.
Which dance are you supposed to be dancing?
There's no dance.